This video is going to be about what we call a safe edge file. And here's a file that powdered stuff on there is chalk. I usually put that on there when I'm using these files to keep them clean. It keeps them from clogging up so bad. But here's one you can see it on better. We just I learned this from Frank Ford, and you can, as Frank said, you can introduce this file to Mr. Belt Sander. I use a disc sander with some 80 grit paper on it, but you just grind the edges down where they don't cut, and I usually grind the ends down where they're smooth. You won't hang it in something. And I use this. Well, I'll show you first on a regular file. Here's a regular file that I ground the edges down on. It's smooth in the front. There's nothing to skin the stuff up with. And way I use those 3-corner files is, you know, I'll file the tops of them down. Here's one that I got a handle in. It's a dogwood handle I made years ago in a file, and as you can see, we smoothed it down. And I'll usually, you know, I'll take some black magic marker, and when you file all that magic marker off, you've got it level. This is just an old neck that I'm using for some demonstration purposes. But I've got some electrical tape on here to protect the fingerboard, but actually you could probably use it without it. But I'll use this to recrown the top of these frets. And that puts as Roy Underhill says, the roundosity back in it. And I've got some things I bought years ago. Here's one of them before I worked on it. It was just square on the edges. See how sharp that edge is? And I made them a safe edge and put some handles in them. I had about 3 grits. There's 180 and 260 and 360. But you can see that I've rounded the end of it off and the sides of it off, and so I can use that on these frets too. And that pretty well demonstrates safe edge files. Here's a little one that a needle file that I made a safe edge out of on the bottom, and I usually use this on the corners of these frets. Stuart McDonald makes a little file that works good. I've got one of those too. But these are homemade jigs that I made